I get tons of guys who message me from Ian's old SSS community. And the reason I say old is because I actually used to be a part of it. I get tons of guys who message me asking me for advice because they've plateaued, they've stopped making progress. And the thing is, with the SSS, with the two-step method, it's not present enough with the actual individuals because there's a ton of people. It's friggin' giant because Ian's become like a literal marketing machine. But when these people stop making progress, it's because of a couple reasons, but I'm going to be giving you the reasons. No, it's not the 30 mistakes. No, it's not because they weren't taking it serious enough. No, it's not because you're not taking it serious enough. The reason why you're making crap progress is because the program is bad. And you see testimonials on Ian's website. 20 kilo pull-ups in 3 months, 50 kilo pull-ups in 8 months, whatever. One, he has 4,000 people, so he has a big group of people to pull from. But what is it? And the 8 months example never happens. It's always less than 5 or 6 months inside the program. And when it's like whether or not the person was inside the program, it was like a long transformation, like 2 years plus. When I was in there, I was one of the strongest people. 67 handstand push-ups in one workout, doing 50 kilo dips at only 62 kilo body weight, doing 50 kilo dips for like 10 reps, being able to do 50 kilo pull-ups for 4 or 5 reps, something along those lines. I was one of the strongest people in there, and I built a bit of a reputation because I would give advice, and a lot of it went against what Ian would say because I didn't follow his program. There's a bunch of people in there who are significantly stronger than everyone else in the SSS and don't follow the program. And the thing is, he's used me and has used other people that I know for a fact who don't follow his program. There's a guy on Ian's page right now, I'm not going to name him, who was literally coached by Matthew Zlat and was in the SSS just because he wanted a community, and Ian used him as a testimonial. Don't listen to these marketers because they are liars. I sent an automated email. Or I got an automated email after I sent an email to Ian, like specifically in the SSS team and Team Barsicle and all that type of stuff. I sent an email to the SSS team, tried messaging Ian. I don't know if I actually messaged Ian. It might have just been the email. I don't want to give anything like that's not correct. But I got an automated email back after I had asked them to take me off their website, or to take me, not even their website. I was fine with the website because back then to learn like my first skill, I actually used SSS method. I asked them, it was a picture of me flexing I had sent to the SSS, not to put it on Instagram because I don't want that on as like something that's on there. Because if you know, I don't post me flexing, I don't post me like shirtless pictures, that type of stuff. I just train, all my videos, my shorts, my reels, all that type of stuff, I have a shirt on. That's for a numerous amount of reasons, but it's just something that I'm more comfortable with. Send an email. A couple of minutes later, maybe like 5 to 30 minutes, I don't really remember when I checked it, I got an automated email back. And I don't know if it was automated, but it sent like it. I got an automated email back with a bunch of mistakes that I'm making about training, which wasn't even part of the email. It was a support email as well. I made sure it wasn't like problems with the training plan. It was a support email, so they're supposed to support you. I got a free PDF of all of the training. It's the top 7 training mistakes that I make, and got to make it a marketing number. And I heard nothing back. That same day, I left the program. And when I left, I got a ton of friend requests because it's a Discord server, right? Got a ton of friend requests, got a ton of people like asking me what happened, whatever. And I told them I'm tired of the lying. I'm tired of the like moderate manipulation by either Ian or his team. I don't really care which one. They're all the same in my eyes. And the thing is, I think Ian's a great guy. I think his programs work fairly well, but they're horrible for beginners because it gives you a bad base of knowledge. That was my experience. The strongest people inside SSS aren't actually doing SSS. And the people who are on Ian's page with testimonials who are doing 50 kilo pull-ups for 5 reps, 6 reps, whatever. When has Ian ever programmed 5 or 6 reps? In his powerlifting program, which is literally just a 5x5 and a 4x6? That's not powerlifting. It's very sad to see because a lot of people get stuck in this trap because they think the SSS is the one thing that's going to get them to the level that they want to get to because it's just a marketing machine. And Ian makes a disgusting amount of money from it. I'm going to be telling you why it doesn't work. I'm going to be telling you why it does work first, but I'm going to be telling you why you've stopped making progress now. And I'm going to take a sip of coffee first because this is my 4th video I've recorded and I'm quite tired. Why does it work? Before you get to the level to where you're allowed to do the 2-set method, you have to get to 15 pull-ups and 20 dips. You either do that by building up to that from 0. So let's say you start at 0. You do high volume. Again, you're going to notice this. You do high volume. You do lots of sets of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up until you can do like 4 sets of 12, I think. Then what do you do? For dips, you do the same thing. If you're already able to do 20 dips, 15 pull-ups, that means you've been training for a while. That means you're pretty adept to the movement. That means you're already decently muscular. Like above average, not like jacked to the gills, but you're above average. I'm burping because of the coffee, sorry. You're above average. You're already have built a high level of volume because what he says is he dogs on the high volume programs, right? He says, yeah, these programs suck. Follow my program, only 2 sets, 2 exercises. And what happens? You switch to 2-set method, you explode in gains. You go from high volume to low volume, and then you explode. Then after a certain amount of time, you plateau and you stop making progress permanently. What do powerlifters do? How do you think powerlifters periodize their training? They do high volume, put up a base, put up technique, put up all that stuff, put up some more muscle, all that type of stuff. Then they switch to low volume. You could even say they might do at the peak, like right before competition, they might do 3 sets of a single, 2 sets of a single, high intensity, low volume, 1 set of a single, even 1-set method. It must be best for you to do permanently. That's not how it works. The thing is with the 2-set method, it is too good to be true. If you listen to any other athlete other than Ian, when they talk about the 2-set method, they all tell you it's a garbage program. Join any street lifting community where Ian's honestly not even that strong. 105 kilo dips for 8 reps is honestly decent progress. But even if you look in his video, he's not going to failure. When he did 50 kilos for 12, he didn't go to failure. When you see him do weighted pull-ups, the only thing he has recorded for weighted pull-ups is 80 kilos for 3. At his body weight, that's not very good. That's like 90% body weight for 3 reps. I did 90% body weight for 4 reps. Does that mean I'm a better weighted puller than Ian? No, not at all, because he's probably more experienced with me, and if we were to go for reps or if we were to go for whatever, he would probably beat me. But I've been training calisthenics for a year, year and a half. And I'm pausing a lot just so you can think about this as well. I want you to kind of have these realizations as you go. This is going to disappoint you, and I completely understand. My program completely free, link in the description. Join me. I'm the one who's right. I give high volume and stuff that actually works so long term though. And I tell you how to modulate it over time, which Ian doesn't. It does bring kind of emotions out for me because he was someone that I looked up to. He was my inspiration. He's a lot of young guys' inspirations. Him, Vitaly, Zlat, Philip even some way. And Philip I can make a whole new video about because that's interesting and it's in and of itself. Jeez. But he's not very strong. When he did 105 kilos for 8 on dips, they weren't to street lifting standard. His hips barely moved. It was just forward lean. Decent at muscle ups. I would say, honestly, my muscle ups are better, if not comparable. Decent at handstand push-ups again. I would say my handstand push-ups are fairly comparable. He's obviously better and he does like more training than me, whatever. But my handstand push-ups are comparable. I've been training for a year and 2 months-ish. Year and a month. I can do that. My planche is better. I've been training it for less time. I've been training for a month. I can hold like 2 seconds. He's been training it for like, I want to say 2 or 3 months. And he can hold it for like, I don't know, same amount of time. So mine's better. Also, my technique is better. It's fake. The two-set method is nonsense. There are some good things in the SSS that I even incorporate in my programs. Wrist training, elbow training, training across multiple different joint angles. The thing is, Ian simplifies too much when training isn't that simple. He says, this is the best back movement. This is the best wrist movement. This is the best side pressure movement. And he's just wrong. Different people have different conditions and different needs. People respond better to volume versus intensity. People respond better with certain exercises, certain volumes, whatever. He gives you what worked for him. And then he might even add in what worked for coaching clients, but he gives a general range. And the thing is, I've noticed he's very safe with his programming. He goes to the low end of the volume, of the reps, of the intensity, apart from the two-set method in itself. But what does he give you? He gives you friggin' a week, 9 days in some cases, to recover. You're not making progress in 9 days of training. I actually have. There was a period where I followed like his 9-day cycle thing, and I did the two-set method during that time. Day 1, train hard, weighted pull-ups, 35 kilos for 6, 7 reps, 8 reps, whatever. Because back then it was 6 to 8 reps. Now magically, if you do 6 to 8 reps, and you're going to hell and you're going to die. Now it's 8 to 10 reps or 10 to 12 reps or whatever he has it. Again, he changes it up every couple of months because he knows people who plateau after a certain point, he's going to need to. That's probably why he does it, honestly. Like, just off the top of my head, he randomly changes the program from like 2 reps from where it was, which is what you do when transitioning from moderate weight, heavyweight, lightweight, whatever. You go, if you're going from like sets of 10 to sets of 3, for example, every couple of weeks you lower the rep range and then you go in. And if you're transitioning between 2 rep ranges, let's say like you're going only for sets of 5, you transition from sets of 5 to 3 and then 5 to 7 and something along those lines, depending on the period. That's probably why he does it. Just randomly changing the program, not telling anyone, and then like yelling at people saying, bro, you did not, I don't know how to do a Russian accent. It's like, bro, you did not do the program. Like, it's completely ridiculous with the knowledge app. There's been so many times where inside the SSS, he said that he is the only athlete with the knowledge. He's the only athlete who knows things. This is mostly turned into an Ian hate video, and I don't want that. He's an awesome dude who gives some really good principles, who is inspiring literally millions of people. But for the love of God, if you're gonna promote this method, which is a good method, you need to you need to package it in the right way. And you can do all the same marketing stuff, you can do the stuff, but inside the program, when they buy it, tell them you don't stick with this forever. And when you tell them don't stick with this forever, don't tell them that the training splits that you give that suck are the best ones. Because what happens is he gives you a 5x5, he gives you a 4x6, which is literally the powerlifting method. He asked you for like 23 to 30 something dollars for doing a 5x5 and a 4x6. That's really all it is. It gives like a little bit more details on how to perform the reps in reserve and all that type of stuff, which is cool. But he's not giving you the actual required information to make progress. He's not telling you that frequency is important when lowering the intensity. He's not telling you that frequency is important when upping the intensity and having low sets. You can do the 2-set method literally 3 to 4 times a week and you will be completely fine. You just have to adapt to it because there's an adaptation progress. When I coach people, for example, if I have them doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday sessions, just as an example, especially guys who come off the 2-set method, they get sore easier because they're able to push harder because they're used to training to failure and because their body adapts to that. But if they actually want to get stronger, they need higher frequency now because they plateaued with that method. So what do? They do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday they train hard. Wednesday is a ridiculously easy day because they're not adapted to the volume and the frequency. Then Friday they train hard. That's what you do, and then you adapt them into that progress, and then you work them in slowly, and then eventually you'll be able to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Elite powerlifters train bench 6 times a week. Elite gymnasts train gymnastic moves. And again, you're not an elite gymnast and you don't have the tendon connections and like connective tissue and all that. But with weightlifting, it's fairly similar. Like, they're working towards their capacity. You're working towards your capacity. If you listen to elite gymnasts, if you listen to elite powerlifters, it's still the same thing. Your tendons and connective tissue only adapt so far. And then you push the limits, especially the guys who are on steroids. They train every day for hours. Elite powerlifters, I swear to God, train 6 times a week. But what happens? They modulate their intensity. They'll only train hard once or twice a week. But they'll do accessories, they'll do pauses, they'll do speed work almost every single day, while squatting and while deadlifting, while doing accessories for those things as well. You aren't going to die if you do high volume. You just need to know how to modify it properly. High volume isn't bad. High volume is good. Most people are responders to volume. You will build more muscle if you do more volume. You will get stronger in the long run if you do more volume, but primarily more frequency. So like levels of importance is like 10 out of 10 is here, 1 out of 10 is here. Frequency is probably somewhere around here. Volume's like a little bit lower. So like overall volume throughout the week, they're basically the same. But if you're talking like just by session, frequency is more important and then volume is a little bit less important. Intensity is also important, but it's probably at the same as volume. Intensity is important. You need to be going intensely. You need to be training hard. You need to be pushing yourself. But you need to be honest in the sense of, I'm not making progress right now. A beginner shouldn't have to do everything 10 out of 10 perfect for them to make progress. That's a retarded statement for someone to say. You're gonna tell someone who's getting into fight training that they're only gonna make progress if they're showing up to the gym every single day, 5 hours a day, training absolutely perfectly, eating absolutely perfectly, being within this specific heart rate, doing this specific moves, rolling their shoulder in this specific way. No, because they're not adapted to the thing enough. If you haven't trained, you don't even know all the ins and outs of proper diet, proper training, all that kind of stuff. And obviously in programs and courses, people teach you that. I give some information in mine and give some information in his. But you need to actually adapt it to real experience. So what I'm asking you, if you've stuck with the 2-step method, my program's a good starting point. And this isn't even just to advertise. Like, I swear to God, it's completely free. Like, you can join it from any other video. It's literally just something that I talk about in every video. But going to high volume, high frequency, I have personally seen from coaching these people for free that they make crazy progress. That's been everything. My name has been Brandon. Keep doing the best at doing your best. Trust God. Signing off.